Okay, so these first 8 discernible partials that we hear within every note, the overtones that we keep hearing, but just hearing them cut in half, bring them down to lower octaves so we can kind of line them up. Those first 8 notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 within the octave, that is called a diatonic scale. In particular, that is the major scale. Okay, we hear 4 more overtones or partials in Western music as well, and we bring them in, and instead of using some other kind of numbering sequence, we simply stick those numbers in between our major scale. So let me just show you how this goes. So here's our original starting frequency. Okay, so the first set of notes that we bring down the diatonic scale is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8. I also write it as a 1, meaning it's starting a new octave vibration. I just put a line underneath it like that, meaning that we've just now jumped into the next higher octave, and then this whole number sequence can just simply repeat again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, just going in that, higher up in that direction, and each one of those would have a line underneath it signifying that we went higher. Similar over here, I could start, at 1 and go lower in this direction. So, and by the way, this is a convention. Higher goes this way, lower goes in this direction. Okay, so so then I would have a 1 and then 7, but each one of these would have a line over on top of it, meaning that we've now dropped down to a lower octave. It's just a simple way of writing things. Indian musicians use a little dot. If I put a dot over the 7, that means that we just went into our upper octave. Okay? If I put a dot underneath the 6, that means we dropped into a lower octave. It's just a very simple numbering conventions. So then we bring down 4 extra notes. Okay, mathematically they fit into a different area than our original 8 notes. So our 8 notes are called the diatonic scale. It means 8, and then that would be called the major scale. And then we stick in these other numbers here. These 12 numbers all together form what is called a chromatic scale. Chromatic meaning many colors. Okay, and instead of like making up some new numbers like 9, 10, 11, 12, so we do something like this. We say sharp. Sharp means to go a little bit higher. And flat, which is written like a little B, means to go a little lower. So the note that goes in between the 1 and the 2 of the major scale has 2 different names. It's known as a sharp 1 or a flat 2. So it's got a little B and the number 2, or it's got, I think they call this hashtag now, hashtag and a 1, meaning sharp 1 or a flat 2. Then there's, second note of our major scale, third note of our major scale, fourth note of our major scale. So over here we have a flat 3 or a sharp 2. That note has 2 different names. It depends on what game we're playing musically, which name I will use. Mostly in Western music, as contemporary modern Western music based on African American music or based on jazz or blues. Most of the time we would use the flat name for something. So 1, flat 2, 2, flat 3, 3, 4, flat 5, 5, flat 6, 6, flat 7, 7, and then our octave 8 or a 1 with a line underneath it, meaning we're going to go higher again, start the whole number sequence over, but it would all have little lines underneath it, meaning that we just jumped into another octave. By the way, anytime I hold up a little piece of paper like this and you want to understand, we used to use the word grog from Kurt Vonnegut's books. If you want to understand something, just put this on pause and maybe scribble it down for yourself, or really try to understand what I'm talking about. These little strong lines like that, since we're doing a guitar course, you can just think of them as frets. Okay, so we're just lining up our chromatic scale fret by fret, going up, and then we're going down like this.